I am Cynthia, working as Associate Professor in Department of Management Studies, PSNA College of Engineering and Technology, Dindigul. Good morning to all. Today, my lecture will be on an overview of manager behavior effectiveness, which may include introduction to manager behavior, defining a managerial job, designing a managerial job, concepts of managerial effectiveness, job challenges faced by managers, developing the winning edge, and conclusion. Let me start my task with an opening case. A marketing executive, Mr. Ravi, who was all the while working in the field, was promoted as marketing manager and is posted to the office. Mr. Ravi is not adjusting to his new job and feels that he was more comfortable in the field. A fieldman who has been elevated as a manager is not comfortable with his new job position because he does not possess effective managerial job behavior. Let me begin this session with a question to my students. Who is called as a manager? A manager is a person who plans, organizes, leads, staffs, controls human, financial, and resources of an organization in an effective as well as efficient manner to achieve the organizational goals and objectives. A manager is a person who makes surplus for an organization. He makes profit so as to stand the company as number one inside the world. For this, manager should possess certain qualities. The qualities of manager may include self-confidence, intelligence, foresight thinking, education, maturity, technical knowledge, human relation attitude, leadership, problem solving, information handling, decision making, communication. If a manager possesses all these qualities, he will be able to run his organization in a successful manner to achieve his goals, his or her goals. The levels and behavior is the action exhibited by a manager inside an environment. Effectiveness is nothing but set of practices which has been practiced by a manager in order to run his organization, like time management, taking decisions, problem solving, etc. Let us discuss the definition for manager behavior effectiveness. Manager behavior effectiveness is defined as sum total of effective work related behavior that an organization expects from the individual at managerial position is called as manager behavior effectiveness. Let us take an example. Any business organization, NGO, or an education institution or a hospital administration, a manager is required for running that organization in a successful manner. Before that, we will discuss what are the levels of manager that exist inside the world. The levels of manager can be classified into three types: top level management, middle level management, and lower level management. Before that, what do you mean by levels of manager? Levels of manager is nothing but a line of demarcation between various managerial positions inside an organization is called as levels of manager. It can be classified as top level management, middle level management, and lower level management. top level managers. Board of directors, CEOs and MDs of the companies will be called as top level managers. Next level will be middle level managers. All the heads of the departments, heads of the section, heads of the will be called as middle level managers. Lower level managers will be the supervisors or the foreman. Top level managers, their duty is to frame policies, procedures for an organization. Middle level managers will be executing the formulated policies and procedures of the top level management. And lower level managers, they will be putting their effort for achieving the organizational goals or objectives. For an organization, a manager requires certain skill. The skills can be basically classified into conceptual skill, human skill and technical skill. Conceptual skill are the ability to proceed with new ideas, run the organization with certain rules and regulations, etc. Human skill is ability to deal with persons, subordinates, etc. Then technical skill with ability to work in a specialized manner. And apart from this, in order to face the cutthroat competition of the world, a manager should possess extra skills, which may include decision-making skill, designing skill, problem-solving skill, diagnostic skill, and political skill. Let us relate the skills of a manager with levels. The top level management possesses conceptual skill. Middle level manager should possess human skill. Lower level management should possess technical skill. Next, let us design a managerial job. Managerial job is a collection of tasks. It is not concerned with one job alone. It is a collection of tasks, and it can be explained with the help of dimensions of managerial job. The dimensions of managerial job can be explained with the help of descriptive job dimension, functional job dimension, role dimension, and time dimension. Let us start with descriptive dimensions of managerial job. Descriptive dimension of managerial job says that a manager has to function with various activities, which may include planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, and controlling. Planning is determination of future course of action, what is to be done in future, when it is to be done, where it is to be done, how it is to be done. Organizing is dividing the work, giving authority and responsibility to the workers who work along inside an organization. Staffing means manning the people inside the organization, which may include recruitment, selection, and giving training and development for the employees. Directing gives direction for the subordinates how to perform the work in an efficient as well as an effective manner, which may include communication, good leadership, motivating an employee as well as supervising an employee. Coordination means a manager should coordinate all the members inside an organization to achieve his target. Controlling, a manager should possess control over his subordinates as well as other workers who work inside an organization for achieving the organizational goals and objectives. Next one will be functional dimensions of managerial job. Functional dimensions of managerial job is explained by Henry Froehel. You all know that Mr. Henry Froehel was a good management thinker who has formulated 14 principles of management. He says that the task of a manager is very difficult, and he has classified the task of a manager into 6 types, which may include a manager should carry out the technical function, which may include production and manufacturing of goods and services inside an organization. He has to carry out the commercial activity, which may include buying, selling and exchanging of goods and services in the market, and financial activity, which may include obtaining and using of capital for running a business in a successful manner. And he also says that security is also one of the important functional activity of a manager, protecting the property and persons who work inside an organization. Accounting is also another important managerial activity, which may include framing of balance sheet for an organization, which will list out the assets and liabilities of an organization. At the same time, it also explains the costing management inside an organization. And next, manager activity is also very important activity of a managerial job, which may include planning, organizing, staffing, controlling, coordinating and communicating inside an organization. Next will be the role dimensions of managerial job. The role dimensions of a managerial job has been formulated by Mr. Henry Mitzberg. Henry Mitzberg, he says that a manager has to perform different roles inside an organization. Roles means the behavioral pattern expected by a manager inside an organization is called as role. And he has classified a manager should possess 10 different roles. And he classified the 10 different roles of a manager into 3 categories. They will be called as interpersonal, informational and decisional. Informational role, a manager should take the interpersonal role. He has to deal with many persons inside an organization. So he acts as the role of figurehead role, leader, as a leader and as a liaison officer inside an organization, which acts as providing information. Next important role performed by a manager is informational role. A manager should receive information about the subordinates, how an organization functions inside a concern. He has to possess the role of monitor, he has to possess the role of disseminator, and he has to possess the role of spokesperson, and he processes the information in a fruitful manner for efficient functioning of his concern. A manager also takes the role of decisional role, and he takes the decision what is right, what is wrong inside an organization concern for achieving the goals. He may take the role of an entrepreneur, he may take the role of a disturbance handler, he may take the role of a resource allocator, allocating the resources, men, material, machine, etc. in a good manner. At the same time, he also takes the role of a negotiator inside an organization. Next will be the time dimensions of managerial job. The time dimensions of a managerial job means the act or the process of exercising over the time spent on specific activity to increase the efficiency or productivity is called as time management. In order to manage time inside an organization, a manager has to obey certain principles, and the principles of time management can be listed out in this manner. Principles of establishing goals. A manager has to establish goals and he has to achieve the goals within the limited time. Next one, principles of brevity. A manager has to brief what is happening inside an organization to his subordinate so that he can save more time and he can target his subordinates to complete the task in the speculated time allotted to the workers. Next one will be a manager has to maintain the principle of habit. A manager should conduct the maintain the principle of habit, so that arrangement of regular meetings, maintaining discipline inside an organization, etc., can be managed if he adopts the principles of habit of time management. Next one, a manager has to obey the principle of proper planning. A manager has to plan his activity in a prescribed manner, when to do, where to do, and how to do an organization, how to do an activity. The next principle adopted by a manager is principle of effectiveness. The effectiveness can be set with the help of certain rules, regulations, etc., and thereby he achieves his goals or objectives inside the organization. Next one will be, a manager plays a very important role for principle of time estimate. You should forecast the things in advance and it should be completed within the limited time. Next principle will be principle of delegation of authority. A manager should know how to delegate the work to others and manage his time in such a manner that the work gets completed within no time. A manager must also use the principle of management of authority. If a work is given to a subordinate, and he should show his authority in such a manner that it can be extracted in time, and for that he may exercise his leadership style for extracting the work from the subordinates. And a manager uses the principle of proper implementation. A manager should use proper implementation of strategies as well as plans, policies, etc., for effective functioning of a concern. Next one, a manager should have time for taking feedback as well as follow-up of actions inside an organization in order to improve his concern to stand number one in this competitive world. Next, we shall pass on to how a manager wastes time inside a concern. How he is wasting time? It can be classified as two types: external time wasters and internal time wasters. External time wasters will be classified into interruption from visitors, meetings, conducting paperwork and correspondence, telephone inquiries. If a manager does all this activity inside an organization very often, he may waste time. Internal time wasters will be poor communication. If a manager doesn't possess good communication, the subordinates will not be able to follow the instructions, and they will be doing the work in an indifferent manner, which leads for collapsing the entire organizational activity. So a manager should possess good communication. Next one, a manager will be procrastinating the activity, postponing the activity. What is to be done today, that has to be done today itself. It should not be postponed to the next day. A manager should not waste time by saying no, inability to say no to the activity. Next one, inadequate planning. A manager should possess adequate planning inside an organization so that he can run an organization in a successful manner. If he is inadequate in planning activity, that organization will not be running in a long run manner, in an effective manner. Next one, failure to delegate work as well as authority to the subordinates. And here are some of the external time wasters by a manager. Next, we shall pass on to a manager can introduce certain laws for managing time, and the laws of managing the time can be explained with the help of law of planning our time, law of applying our effort, law of investing our talent. If a manager uses all these three laws in an effective manner, surely he will be able to complete the task in the speculated time. And there is a saying that time and tide waits for none. Next, there are 3 secrets for a manager to manage the time in a proper manner, which may include value of time, time budgeting, and concentration. If a manager applies these secrets inside an organization, surely a manager will be able to perform well in his duties. Next, the Peter F. Drucker says that time is the scarce resources of a manager. If not managed, nothing else can be managed. So, management of time is very, very important for a manager inside the organization. Next, we shall pass on to the models of managerial job. The models of managerial job has been explained by Henry Mitzberg, and he named the model as well-rounded model of managerial behavior. Henry Mitzberg formulated well-rounded model for managerial job. He says that managerial job is oriented towards a concentric circle, and he says that as well-rounded model. A manager should conceive things. He should schedule certain activity so that the task can be done in regular manner. A manager should communicate to his subordinates in a good manner so as to give the information to his subordinates proper manner. A manager should also have a controlling power towards his subordinates inside a concern. He should lead that particular team for achieving the targets. He should also link all the persons who are working inside an organization. And with the help of all these things, a manager should make his subordinates to do the work. And hence he said that the activities of a manager will be a well-rounded one. Next model of a managerial job has been developed by Rosemary Stewart, that is the pattern of manager work behavior. This can be expressed with a diagram. The work behavior of a manager can be explained with the help of demand, that is the activities and duties to be carried out by a manager inside an organization. A manager has to carry different activities inside the organization. Next will be the choice. A manager should possess certain opportunities, and he should make the opportunities in a good manner so as to complete the tasks. A manager should also possess constraints which may include time, budget, as well as technology and resources available. It should be maintained in a proper manner. If it is not maintained in a proper manner, manager is not able to complete his activity in a good manner. Let us go to the next topic called as designing of a managerial job. The designing of a managerial job is not an easy one. So it is a very important task for a manager to design his activity inside an organization. The activities to be carried out by a manager inside an organization can be classified as a manager has to identify the managerial talents. He has to recruit persons inside an organization. He has to select right man for the right job. He has to place the people inside the concern. He has to make orientation or induction to the selected employees, and he has to give career management for the people, and he has to develop the skills. Identifying a managerial talent. A manager has to identify talented persons from the society. So he has to adopt various techniques for identifying the talented persons from the organization, which may include traditional tests. In order to analyze the IQ of persons, a manager has to use traditional method of conducting tests, and he should for identifying the talented persons. A manager should also conduct interview for the persons, and a manager should also conduct certain simulation experiments for the subordinates. A manager should also do the performance appraisal, that is the rating of employees, how one employee differs from another employee inside an organization. And hence these are the various tasks a manager has to do inside his organization. There are various strategies used by a manager to retain his talent inside an organization. He has to adopt various strategies like creating and maintaining a healthy work culture, employee participation in planning and decision making, provision of benefits relating to health as well as other welfare activities for the workers. A manager has to pay fair and competitive salary for the workers who work inside his concern. A manager may also should give various fringe benefits to the workers who work inside an organization. A manager should have an open door communication policy by which he can retain his talented persons inside the organization itself. A manager has to develop an effective orientation program for the newly placed employees to make know the rules and regulations of his concern to the newly appointed employees of the concern. A manager should provide best equipment to his employees to work and to complete in time. Advanced technologies, work equipment can be given for the worker to complete the task in time, and hence if a manager adopts these strategies, he is able to retain his employees inside the concern. Next important work for a manager is recruitment. What do you mean by recruitment? Recruitment is a process of locating, identifying, attracting capable candidates for a job is called as recruitment. Otherwise, it can be defined as a process of searching for prospective employees and stimulating and encouraging them for applying a job inside an organization is called as recruitment. And there are various ways by which recruitment can be done inside an organization. Before that, let us discuss what are the factors which plays an important role in affecting the recruitment of an organization. There are various factors which plays an important role in affecting the recruitment of an organization, can be classified into two types: internal factors as well as external factors. The internal factors are the factors which affects an organization within the environment, which may include the size of the organization. If the size of the organization is small, you require only less people. If the size of the organization is large, you require more people to carry out your work. So a manager has to think the size of the organization and he should recruit persons inside the concern. Next important thing will be a manager has to focus on the recruitment policies. The recruitment policy differs from organization to organization. Depending upon the policy, a manager has to recruit persons. Next will be the image of the organization. Image of the organization plays a very important role in recruiting person. And next one, the image of the job is also therefore recruiting persons inside an organization, and hence these are the above listed factors which plays a very important role in affecting the internal factors of recruitment. Next we shall pass on to the external factors of recruitment. The external factors of recruitment may include the factors like demographic factors, which may include the age, occupation, sex, as well as income of an employees inside an organization. Next, we should also look into the labor market. Next, we shall look into the unemployment situation which is prevailing in the society. That also should be taken into consideration for recruiting persons inside the organization. Next one, major important aspect a manager should see is labor laws. A manager has to recruit people according to the labor laws only. At the same time, a manager should also legal consideration should be given for recruiting persons inside an organization, that is the reservation of SC, ST candidate inside the organization, whether it may be central government or the state government or in a private organization. The legal consideration should be given for due people. And hence these are all the various factors, external factors which plays a very important role in affecting the recruitment of an organization. Next we shall pass on to the what are the sources by which recruitment can be conducted. The sources of recruitment can be conducted and it is classified into two types. One will be the internal sources of recruitment as well as another will be the external sources of recruitment. The internal sources of recruitment may include present employees, employee referral, former employee and previous applicant. Present employees may act as a recruitment person for his friends, etc., and they may give good suggestions about the candidate. Employee referral can be given for friends, relatives, etc., saying that he or she is a good candidate for your organization. Former employees, the retired employees from the previously organization, can give reference for taking the candidate inside an organization. And previous applicant who might have applied for a job may also act as a sources of recruitment for the persons. Next will be the external sources of recruitment. The external sources of recruitment can be done with the help of employment exchange. Then through advertisements. By seeing the advertisements, you are able to apply for the vacancy positions inside the concern. Then through employment agencies also you are able to say that there exist vacancies. And through professional association, say for example engineers association, doctors association and chartered accountant associations, through that also you are able to recruit persons inside the concern, and you are able to make recruitment with the help of campus interviews. Companies like Wipro, HCL, etc., they directly come into the leading colleges and institutions for acquiring creamy layers of students for campus interview to place in their organizations. Next, with the help of deputation also you are able to recruit persons inside the concern. Deputation means you are transferred to an organization for a short period of time, say for example 2 years or 3 years inside a concern to perform your activities. Next will be through word of mouth also you are able to hear that there exists a vacancy inside a particular concern. Through that also you are able to do the recruitment process. Next, with the help of job fair, you are able to say that there exists a vacancies inside the concern. And nowadays with the help of technology, that is cyberspace technology also, you are able to recruit persons inside the concern. And hence by both internal and external sources you are able to recruit persons inside the organization. Next we shall pass on to the sources of how the recruitment process can be conducted. The recruitment process can be conducted in 5 stages, which may include recruitment planning, strategy development, searching, screening, evaluation and control. See, this is a recruitment process where a manager has to plan his personal strategy, and he has to say that how many job vacancies exist inside a concern, and he has to plan the number of people to be taken for carrying out his work, and the type of job which is available inside an organization, etc., will be decided by a manager, and he has to develop a strategy saying that where to conduct as well as how to conduct the recruitment as well as when to conduct the recruitment. Next one, he will be able to search for the prospective candidate with the help of sources of recruitment, with the help of internal sources of recruitment as well as with the external sources of recruitment. A person is able to say that there exists a vacancy inside a concern, and after that you are able to receive lot of applicants, and you can screen the applicants, and you are able to hire the potential candidate, right man for your right job. And you have to evaluate, and you should possess a control over the workers who work inside your concern. Next one will be methods of recruitment. A manager has to adopt a method for recruiting persons inside an organization. He may adopt either direct method of recruitment or indirect method of recruitment or a third party method of recruitment. Direct method is the recruiter, they themselves go into the campus or organization to select right candidates through campus interviews, etc. Or through interviews, you are able to get the right persons. Next will be with the help of indirect method, persons can be recruited inside an organization through advertisement as well as through radio announcements and television. Also we are able to recruit persons inside an organization. Next, with the help of a third party, that is through agencies like Naukri.com, agencies are the Datamatics, ABC Consultancy, etc. Through an external agent you are able to hire people for your organization. And these are the 3 methods by which recruitment can be conducted inside an organization. After recruitment process is over, next will be selection. Selection is the very, very important procedure for a manager to decide the right man for the right job. It may be said as the process of choosing among the candidate from within the organization or from the outside the organization most suitable for the current position or for future position inside an organization. We call this method as selection. And this selection can be carried out with certain steps or procedure. It can be carried out with the help of preliminary interview, conduct application blank, selection test, selection interview, reference check, medical examination and final selection. Preliminary interview may act as a courtesy interview. You are being getting pool of applications. You have to conduct a preliminary interview for rejection of few candidates. The person who are unfit for a particular job will be rejected by conducting a preliminary interview. It is otherwise called as courtesy interview. After that, you go for the next step, application blank. This acts as a personal information or a personal profile for the candidate who are applied for a job inside your organization. According to the post, etc., according to educational qualification, according to the gender, etc., the applications will be categorized and suitable candidates will be selected. Unsuitable candidates will be rejected. Next, after this step is over, next step will be selection test. Selection test will be conducted for analyzing the intelligent ability of a person who has been applying for a job inside an organization, which may like to distinguish one person with that of the other person. The selection test can be done either by conducting various tests, personality test, achievement test, attitude test, aptitude test, etc. Once persons are selected, next they will be going to the next phase called as selection interview. An interviewer will be there to interview the selected persons, and he will be asking questions in a face-to-face manner, and he has to say, and the interviewer as well as the interview will be having a interaction so that they can exchange their views and they can ask questions and they can test the ability of communication of an employee, or he or she may be asked to do any activity which may be related to the job. After that, few people right candidates will be selected. After that, few people will be rejected. Next step will be you have to check the references. A previous university professor or a dean or a principal may act as a reference check for applying a person inside an organization. They may say good about the candidate who have applied for a job. Next will be, after this phase is over, next will be medical examination or the physical examination of the candidate, whether they have got any diseases or whether they are able to physically fit for doing a job, etc. Next will be, if persons are overcoming this phase, next will be the final selection for the employees inside an organization, and hence a manager has to do this selection procedure in a good manner to select right candidate for his organization. With this, his job is not over. Next will be, he should place the selected candidates in a good manner. So he should give placement order for the placed candidate inside an organization. What do you mean by placement? Placement is understood as assigning job to the selected candidates. The selected candidates will be assigned various jobs, what is to be carried out inside an organization. Next will be, selected candidates will be introduced to the organization members with the help of a program called as induction program, or it is otherwise called as orientation. What do you mean by induction? Induction is nothing but it is a process of receiving and welcoming an employee to the organization when he first joins and he will be given needed information about the rules and regulations of the organization, etc., how to perform his duties, what are his responsibility, etc., will be given in the form of orientation, or it is otherwise called as induction program. After that, a manager should take his employee to go for a process called as socialization. What do you mean by socialization? Socialization is nothing but adapting person towards an environment where he or she is working. A manager should play a very important role to make his employee to learn about the values and norms of the organization. For that, he should make his employees to adapt to the particular situation which is prevailing inside an organization. The situation may differ from one organization to the another organization. Next will be, a manager should also see into the career management of the worker who works inside his concern, which may include, what do you mean by a career? Career is defined as all the jobs held by a person during his work life is called as career. A manager should see the career management of an employee who works inside his organization. Career management can be defined as the process of designing and implementing the goals, plans, and strategies to enable the organization to satisfy the employee needs while allowing the individual to achieve their career goals. It's called as career management, and this can be explained with the help of certain factors which affects the career. The factors which affects the career can be explained with the help of education, experience, performance, parents, caste links, and some occasional lucks. These are the various career factors which plays a very important role in affecting person's career. Next will be, there are various stages by which career management can be explained, which will be discussed as exploratory stage, establishment stage, and mid-career stage, later career stage, and declining stage. And this can be plotted against the age of a person who works inside an organization. When you draw a graph with the performance and age, after completing his college studies, he will be of 23. He will be starting his career inside an organization. We call this stage as exploratory stage. Next phase will be establishment phase. Next will be mid-career phase. The next phase will be declining phase. After joining an organization, he has to establish himself to show his potential ability, etc., to achieve the target, etc., and this will be attained with within the age of 30 to 45. Next stage will be divided into mid-career and later career. He has to obtain a comfortable position like manager or a senior manager inside a concern. And next stage will be your declining stage. After the age of 60 or 58, you will be retiring from your job. That stage will be called as declining stage, and hence these are the various career stages in person's life. Next, with this, a manager job is not finished. He has to develop the selected candidates. For that, he has to undergo manager skill development program should be conducted for a manager inside an organization. And this skill development programs can be carried out by a manager with the help of on-the-job training method as well as off-the-job training method. On-the-job means while he is doing the job itself, training should be given, and it can be given in the form of coaching. It can be given in the form of job rotation. It can be given in the form of job instruction training. If a manager possesses all these things and imparts to his subordinates, they'll be able to complete the task in a quick manner. Next one, off-the-job training. Job training will be given away from the workplace. We call that off-the-job training. Off-the-job training can be conducted by arranging guest lectures, by conducting case studies, group discussion, transaction analysis, role play, management games, sensitivity training, in-basket exercises. By conducting conferences and seminars, you are able to improve the knowledge and skills of your workers, and hence a manager has to develop the skills of his manager by applying the above methods for improving the skills of the subordinates. Next one, the concepts of managerial effectiveness. Concepts of manager effectiveness says that it is the ability of a manager to attain the desired results inside an organization, and we call this as effectiveness of a manager. And this effectiveness can be explained with the components of manager effectiveness, which may include leadership, motivation, diplomacy, and administration. A manager has to lead his team. He should motivate his employees in a good manner for achieving the goals and objectives. A manager should possess diplomacy in handling tough as well as smooth employees inside an organization, and he has to have a good administration. He should be a good administrator to extract work from others. Next important thing will be this manager behavior effectiveness can be explained with a model. Campbell has developed a model for explaining the effectiveness of manager behavior, and it can be explained with input, transformation process, and output. He says that input are nothing but the persons who work inside your organization, and the persons who work inside an organization must possess certain individual characteristics such as intelligence, aptitude, knowledge, temperament, preferences, expectations, ability, motivation, and opportunity. This will be converted into output with the help of a transformation system called as managerial job dimension, general and specific functions of management, etc. With this planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, and leading, you are able to transform the input into an output thing, which may include as an organizational result, which will be called as profit maximization for a concern, organizational efficiency, high productivity, employee welfare as satisfaction, and employee social welfare activities will be set as output of a concern. And hence we say that the individual characteristics as input, the transformation process as output, and organizational result as the product. Next, we shall explain how a manager has to function as an effective optimizer. A manager should optimize the long-term functioning of an organization by utilizing the available and potential resources like the 4 M's of management: men, material, machine, and money. A manager should use the 4 M's of management in a proper manner, and hence he will be called as an effective optimizer. For that, a manager has to take certain effective manager behavior like communicating the employees, motivating the employees, taking proper decision, etc. Next important thing will be manager has to face the challenges in the competitive environment. The job challenges is referred as opportunity for a professional to make the fullest use of their skills. And job challenges faced by a manager is very, very difficult, and we can say that job challenges may include achieving tough goals, tough targets, tough objectives. If a manager achieves this in a speculated time, is a very job challenges faced by managers. In this competitive world, a manager, if he wants to shine, he should possess certain ability. That is not enough. He should face job challenges also. The job challenges may include achieving tough target, bringing out the best in employees, dealing with underperforming employees, dealing with outstanding employees, hiring right people, responding to crisis, and continuous improvement. If a manager shows all these challenges and faces the world, he will be shining as an optimizer. Developing the winning edge is an important task for a manager. Developing winning edge means small differences in ability can be translated into enormous, huge differences in result. And this winning edge can be developed through self-development. A manager has to do self-development in order to withstand in this competitive market. Next, a manager has to show the negotiation skill. He should be able to negotiate with the employees who work inside an organization. If any strike incident happens or any dispute arises inside an organization, a manager should possess the negotiation skill for solving that problem inside the concern. And next one is a manager should develop competitive spirit in order to compete with others, in order to compete with his competitor firm, in order to show his strength, weakness, opportunities, and in order to face the threat, he should develop competitive spirit inside him. A manager should also possess knowledge management about the recent technologies which has been adopted by various firms. For that, he should possess knowledge management. And next one will be a manager should possess fostering creativity and innovation. Creativity means new ideas, formulation of new ideas, discovering of new methods for solving problems or solving in any crisis which exists inside an organization, etc., will be handled with the help of innovation and creativity thinking. And thus we have learned the definition, concepts of manager behavior and manager behavior effectiveness in detail. And these are some of the reference book through which you are able to gain knowledge by reading and updating your knowledge. Thank you.